Prompt 27. Does all knowledge impose ethical obligations on those who know it? Rephrasing the question can help you think about how to address the prompt, but make sure you title your essay with the exact wording above a useful rephrasing is. Does having knowledge automatically come with duties about how we use or share it when we learn something new? Do we also take on moral responsibility? Let's unpack that. 1. Frame the ethical scope. Before choosing examples, clarify the dimensions of duty that knowledge may impose: beneficence versus harm. Does knowing a truth obligate us to act for good, or at least to prevent harm that might follow our silence? Confidentiality and consent. Must we protect private or sensitive information? Medical records, personal data, or whistleblower disclosures? How does privileged or specialized knowledge create duties toward those less informed or vulnerable? 2. Gather your ethics in action objects. Pick a selection of these or substitute your own. To illustrate different duties, medical textbook, Hippocratic Oath part, highlights doctor's obligation to do no harm and to use medical knowledge responsibly. Nuclear weapon, model WOP, raises questions about the responsibility that comes with knowledge of mass destruction. Universal Declaration shows how knowing universal rights creates a duty to uphold them in policy and practice. Environmental science textbook, Climate Change Globe, stresses our duty to future generations and the planet when we understand ecological risks. News Media Ethics Handbook guides journalists on truth-telling, protecting sources. Hacking Kit contrasts the duty to protect systems and data with the temptation to exploit vulnerabilities. Patent for a life-saving drug explores the balance between rewarding innovation and ensuring affordable access. Donation Box Philanthropy appeal symbolizes moral duty to use not only knowledge but resources for the common good. Confidential document, SAFE, represents the obligation to safeguard sensitive or classified information. Social media community guidelines, Parchment, examines platform responsibilities to curb misinformation and abusive content. Belmont Report Research Ethics Declaration lays out principles: respect, beneficence, justice that guard against exploiting human subjects. 3. Shape your commentary. Restate the prompt conversationally. Does knowing something mean we have to do something about it? Object and obligation. For each item, illustrate the moral duty it embodies. This Hippocratic Oath plaque reminds us that medical knowledge isn't neutral. It demands care and non-maleficence. Discuss tension. When do duties conflict, for example? Does confidentiality ever clash with the duty to warn? Whose ethical code guides us when values and obligations collide? Propose safeguards. Consider oversight mechanisms, ethics committees, professional codes, legal frameworks that help navigate these duties. 4. Tie back to TOK concept. Link your analysis to the core TOK concepts. Ethics defines the principles that determine what we should do with our knowledge. Responsibility highlights that acquiring knowledge often brings reciprocal duties toward others. Power emphasizes how privileged knowledge can grant authority and thus greater moral obligation. In society, reflection questions: are there types of knowledge so dangerous that they should be deliberately withheld? How do we balance the pursuit of open inquiry with necessary ethical constraints? Who decides which obligations come attached to particular kinds of knowledge? Governments. Your turn. Select the ethics in action objects that most vividly illustrate how knowing often means owing. Then explore the moral frameworks that guide what we must do once we know.